Hello everyone, Monisha here. In our previous session, we learned about nervous tissue in animals. But in this session, we are going to learn about coordination in plants, how the plant sends information to all parts of its body. So this is all about the stimulus and growth of a plant and about the hormones of the plant. Let us start the session. So the plant body consists of shoot system and root system. Root system below the soil and shoot system above the soil. So the basic function of shoot system is photosynthesis, reproduction, storage, transport and hormones. And the function of root system is anchorage, absorption, storage, transport and hormones. Coordination in plants. All living organisms respond to environmental stimuli. Animals have nervous system and endocrine system for control and coordination. But plants don't have any nervous system or muscle tissue for sending the information from one part to other part. Instead of that, plant will do stimuli or respond to the stimuli by secreting some chemicals. And plant exhibit some movement. There are basically two types of movement in plant. One is dependent on growth and another one is independent of growth. And there is no growth involved in the movement which is independent. Movement of plants. Directional or tropic movements, non-directional or nastic movements. So directional and tropic movements occur in direction of the stimulus, whereas non-directional or nastic movement, that is non-growth movement, independent of the stimulus. Let us know about non-directional and nastic movement. Here there is growth, no growth is involved in this area, but there will be some kind of movement. So if you touch a touch-me-not plant, it will fold its leaves. So this is not a growth movement. Instead of that, it is a movement for the stimulus or a response. The movements do not depend on the direction from the stimulus acts. Example, when someone touches the leaves of the mimosa. So the biological name of touch-me-not plant is Mimosa pudica. And the leaves begin to fold up and droop. So leaves before touching and leaves after touching. Mechanism of this leaf drooping. The drooping of mimosa leaves is independent of the direction from which the leaves are touched. Some movements usually happen due to change in water balance in the cell. When leaves of the mimosa are touched, the cells in the leaves lose water and become flaccid, which results in drooping of the leaves. So here usually the water will be filled on the pores of the leaves, and when we touch it, it will absorb those water from the leaves so that the leaves will droop. After some time, slowly the water will fill again and the leaves will come into its normal position or normal stature. So this is the mechanism behind leaf drooping in mimosa plant. Directional or tropic movements. So these movements can be dependent on so many factors like sunlight, gravity, chemicals, etc. Plants respond to stimuli slowly by growing in a particular direction. Example, plants like pumpkin, cucumber, and plant climb up fences by means of tendril. We know that the tendrils, which always goes on to hold a support, and it will circulate the whole tree or the branch or any support. So this is the tropic movements. So types of tropic movements. Phototropism because of light, Geotropism because of gravity, Hydrotropism because of water, Chemotropism because of chemicals, and Cytokines because of touch. Let us first know about phototropism. Phototropism is the response of a plant to the direction of light. So wherever light comes, the plant will grow to that side or it will bend to that side. So phototropism is the growth of a plant in response to light. There is positive phototropism and negative phototropism. So the shoots respond by bending towards light. The shoots is the upper part of a plant which always bend towards the light, that is called as positive phototropism. And the roots of a plant which will go away from the light into the ground is called as negative phototropism. Next comes geotropism. Geotropism is the movement of a plant in response to gravity, either downwards or upwards. Again, it has positive geotropism and negative geotropism. The roots which grow towards the ground is positive geotropism, and the shoots, that is the upper part of a plant which is growing away from the ground, is negative geotropism. Next comes hydrotropism. Here hydro means water. So the name itself signifies it is a growth or response in which the direction is determined by the stimuli of water. So wherever water content is there, the root will grow towards that direction. Example, roots grow towards the source of water. It is hydrotropism, direction of a plant towards water. Tropism means movement or direction, and hydro means water. So direction of a plant towards water is called as hydrotropism. Next comes chemotropism. Chemotropism is a growth movement of a plant part in response to chemical stimulus. So wherever it will generate chemicals, there the movement will be observed. Example, growth of pollen tubes towards the ovule. Next comes thigmotropism. Thigmotropism means touch. Thigmotropism is the directional growth of a plant part in response to touch stimulus of an object. If the tendrils go and touch any object, it will grow towards that. Example, the money plant, you can see, if it touch a wall, it will grow towards that. So climbers produce tendrils which move towards a source of support in order to coil around it and help the plant to climb. So this type of direction of a plant towards a touch is called as thigmotropism. Let us know more about plant hormones. Plant hormones, which is also called as phytohormones, which are the chemicals produced by the plant in low concentration and diffuse that spread all around the cell. Phytohormones and all these hormones regulate plant growth, develop and response to the environment. These are the basic phytohormones: auxins, gibberellins, cytokines, abscisic acid and ethylene. Let us know in detail about all the plant hormones which are very important. Auxins. Auxins are synthesized by a growing apices of a stem and root, the growing part of a stem and root. It promotes cell elongation, that is the length of the cell elongation and growth of stem and root. It causes apical dominance, that is the edge of a plant will grow, that will be a dominant part. It induces a root on stem cutting. That is, if we cut the stem also it will grow. That is, that induces a rooting on stem cutting. Next comes gibberellin. So gibberellins are hormones that help in the growth of the stem, seed germination, bolting and flowering. Next, it induces parthenocarpy. It's a type of growth. Next, its application overcomes the genetic dwarfism. That is, by gibberellins the plant will grow in height and it will not become a shorter plant. So the dwarfism will not be there. And it breaks the dormancy in seeds. Some of the seeds will not grow properly, but if they have gibberellin hormone, the seeds will grow properly. Next comes cytokines. Cytokines are hormones present in the areas of rapid cell division such as fruits and seeds. Wherever the cell division, multiplication of cell is happening, there cytokines will be there. It promotes cell division and cell enlargement, and it also promotes germination of seeds. Next comes abscisic acid. For every growth after a certain amount of time, there should be a limit. So this limitation is done by abscisic acid. So it is a hormone that inhibits the growth. It will stop the growth of plants and various parts of the plant. So it inhibits means it stops cell growth and cell division. It causes dormancy in buds and seeds. So how much the flower should bloom and how much the seeds should grow, all these things are decided by abscisic acid. It induces wilting of leaves and closure of stomata. So everything, this stunting of the growth and everything is done by abscisic acid. And finally it comes ethylene. It's a gaseous plant growth regulator. It plays a role in ripening of fruits. So usually the ripening of fruits is done by ethylene. So these are the photographs of all the tropisms which I explained earlier. The plant showing Chemotropism, that is by touch, the growth by touch. Plant showing Hydrotropism, the growth towards water. Phototropism, the plants which grow towards the light. Geotropism, the plant which grow towards the earth. Chemotropism, the plants which grow towards the chemicals. And last, the Nastic Movement. Nastic Movement and touch me not plant means it is not growth related movement. All other thing is a growth related. Everywhere the growth is happening in all the tropisms, but in Nastic Movement, growth is not happening. That the mimosa plant will just show the movement when someone is touched or any obstruction came. So that is the Nastic Movement. So this is the depiction of all the hormones of the plant. Gibberellin mainly induces the germination, growth of maturity, flowering and development of fruit. So in the same way, all the hormones of the plant which helps in certain development of the plant. So this session was purely about the growth, hormones and development of the plant tissues. So since in animal tissues or in animals, so many processes will be there for its operation and also for its function. And in order to send the messages from one part of a body to another part in animals. But in plants, there is no nerve tissue, nerve tissues and muscle tissue, so that it has to send the messages. So it has been used by some of the hormones and also some of the tropisms. I hope you understood this session. If you have any doubts or queries, please comment me on the comment section. Thank you. Thanks for your patience.